सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। So in the morning class, we were discussing the relationship between the thoughts and the state of mind. A person who is convinced through repeated experience that every time I entertain a negative thought, mind is disturbed, and there is no other way of quietening the mind, attaining a cheerful mind without noble thoughts. There is no other way. Such a person, will he compromise with the higher values of life? Will he? There may be lot of tempting situations which will tempt you to compromise in the family field, in the professional field, because we are constantly interacting with the world. You may gain material prosperity, but if you compromise with the values of life, such situations are there. Will this person compromise? A person who is a seasoned meditator, who has deeply understood this law through direct experience, such a person will not compromise. Because, you know what happens is, after some time, material prosperity loses its charm. Money, at the most, what can it give? Some food, some clothing, some shelter, accepted material needs. And by God's grace, everyone in this world, they have enough to provide for. God has given everyone enough. After that, once the material needs are fulfilled, money has no value. And we are all the seekers of happiness. As far as the quota of happiness is concerned, once the material needs are fulfilled, that particular happiness related to material comforts, it is over. Now if the mind has to experience higher joys of life, it has to be through noble values of life only. So more and more, when I am sticking to the higher values of life, my peace of mind is gaining greater heights. more firmly I stick to the path of truth, to the path of values, the peace which I experience also is of higher nature. Especially when you are following this path of sadhana, of meditation. We may say peaceful mind, but there are different grades also in that peace, isn't it? You see, such a person will never compromise. He becomes more and more firm in the path of truth. In fact, even slightly when he deviates, there is an intense conscience prick. And remember, as far as a meditator is concerned, peace of mind is his greatest treasure. For little monetary gain, do you think he will, throw away this treasure of peace? Impossible. You see, that conscience prick is the voice of God. In fact, every pain is a voice of God. Every disturbance of mind is a voice of God. Why different negative thoughts have different types of disturbances? So that God can communicate to us. My dear child, you are going wrong. It is because of jealousy that you are wrong. It is because of greed that you are wrong. Some way God has to communicate. Merely one signal will not do. Disturbance. What is the disturbance? I don't know. Why am I disturbed? You don't know. No, God will clearly indicate to you. God means that higher power, higher existence, whatever you may name. That cosmic intelligence will have to communicate. The samashti will have to communicate to the vyashti where it is going wrong. Every pain is a guidance from the divine to correct ourselves. Every pain. Pain of hatred, pain of anger, pain of jealousy. They are all different pains, and these pains are given so that we will introspect. When there is pain, there is introspection. In Bhagavatam, the example given is that of the bull being guided by the bull owner in that bullock cart. How will the bull know where to walk, where not to walk, in which direction to walk? It is a pain in the nose, isn't it? There is a nose string, and that string is directly connected with this person who is at the back, the owner. So whenever there is pain, he understands my owner doesn't want me to walk in this direction. If there is no pain, that means that is the way. So, the bull is corrected by the pain in the nose. We are corrected by the pain in the heart. The grosser people are corrected by the pain in the body. Higher and higher as you evolve, God communicates to you in a subtler and subtler voice. We must learn to listen to that voice and to obey the instructions present in that voice. As our meditation becomes deeper and deeper, we are able to commune with God. Talk to God. It's possible. The peace and harmony of this nature is what we call as God. So every time there is selfishness, every time there is jealousy, every time there is ego, you are deviating from that peace and harmony. You are deviating from the divine rhythm of this world. And every deviation from the rhythm will create disturbance. It is something like an orchestra, and your music is going, betal. It's horrible. The world is functioning in a beautiful rhythm. And a person who is tuned to God, his actions are in tune with that rhythm, that divine rhythm. So what I am trying to say is, God is communicating to us every moment. Whenever we are wrong, there is pain in the heart. Whenever we are right, there is joy in the heart. Peace and peacelessness, these are the ways in which God guides us. So how do I know whether my actions, my intentions, my thoughts, they are in tune with the divine? How do I know? The joy within is the indication. The moment I deviate, I disobey the divine, there is disturbance. Greater you are tuned to that divine, greater will be the disturbance. You see? If the divine is a stranger to me, I am so extroverted, animalistic in my nature, then what will happen? I will not feel anything. He is communicating, but I am not listening. Like a disobedient child. The more and more I come nearer to God, the more and more this relationship becomes more and more intense, deep. How to make this relationship intense? By walking the path of goodness, righteousness, by walking the path of dharma. What is the one thing which God loves the most? Dharma. How do we know? Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So path of righteousness is something which He loves the most. So if I want to be a dear child of the divine, I have no choice but to walk this righteous path. So as we keep on walking the righteous path, denying all temptations of the world, seeking God alone, seeking His love alone, seeking His solace alone, seeking His guidance alone. In this way, when I walk the path, what happens to the relationship? It becomes more and more intense. Just like any other worldly relationship. Mother's love is there for the child, but for an obedient child, mother's love is much more. Isn't it? So Bhagavan is our father and mother. Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father, I am the mother, I am the grandfather of this world, the very support. So such a Lord, when we walk this path, what happens? Relationship intensifies. So when relationship intensifies, what happens? We are more and more in tune with the Lord. So therefore means what happens? Whatever we need comes from the Lord. Just like a happy parent is ready to give anything for his child, in the same way, the Lord will give us everything, whatever is needed to fulfill the responsibilities of life. It comes from Him. Whether it is knowledge, whether it is strength, whether it is wealth, whether it is talents and abilities, whatever is needed, it comes from Him. But what is the price I have to pay? The price is obedience. The price is discipline. The price is humility. The price is gratitude. All these terms put together is what is called as sharanāgati. Sharanāgati is not just falling flat in front of some divine form and say, Bhagavan, I will not do anything, you do everything. This is not sharanāgati. In fact, the message of Bhagavad Gita is sharanāgati alone. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Everywhere it is sharanāgati. Devi hesha gunamai mama Māyā duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante. Prapatti, sharanāgati. Everywhere the same message, again and again repeated. Tamevam sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. Sharanāgati. So what is sharanāgati? In sharanāgati, in that term, there is faith, there is reverence, there is devotion, there is humility, there is gratitude, there is obedience, there is discipline. All these put together is what is called as sharanāgati. This is what is called as active sharanāgati. People who have not understood sharanāgati, they say, I will not do anything, everything he has to do. So what will you do? I will eat, drink and be merry. That is not sharanāgati. And that's why our sharanāgati doesn't work also. While chanting, while singing, etc., we say, Bhagavan, everything is yours, what is mine? Next moment it is forgotten. Now everything is mine only. Isn't it? Active sharanāgati is something where every moment you are reminding yourselves, no. So what is the responsibility of a devotee? Responsibility of a devotee is constant remembrance of God. With all these attitudes, remember, all these values. Constant remembrance of God with these virtues, this is called as sharanāgati. This is the responsibility of a devotee. Then what is the responsibility of God? He will look after your yogakshema. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. Yes. Then definitely yogakshema will come. Right. So every conscience prick is a voice from the Lord. The more and more a person advances in meditation, he is able to decipher the meaning of this conscience prick. There is more and more clarity as to why this prick has come. Why this pain in the heart? From where? From which action? From which intention of mine am I suffering? Right? The greater the relationship, the greater will be the pain also. Just like if the mother loves the child very much, when the child does something wrong, mother's beating also is little. The mother will not beat some neighboring child. The mother beats only one's own child, isn't it? In the same way, as we grow in our relationship, the pain also will be intense. Why the pain is intense? Pain is intense because there is greater concern. Wherever there is greater concern, there will be greater pain also. So as we advance in this path of spirituality, all these things a devotee will find in the heart, These things are not something which can be proved by logic. It is something to be experienced. There are so many things which you experience but which cannot be proved by logic. Logic is a very inefficient tool to gain knowledge. These are the things to be experienced. And this experience is what we call as intuitive experience. An experience which cannot be experienced or perceived through the sense organs. These things cannot be known through the sense organs. Our indriyas, they have limitations. Right? Intuitive knowledge. Right? So the more and more as a person proceeds in this path of spirituality, he experiences higher and higher joys of life. And this joy is the greatest treasure. Remember, you cannot create joy. You cannot command joy. Rather, you cannot demand joy. You can only be a recipient of joy by His grace. Peace is something which comes by His grace. Peace is one thing which you can't command. Comfort you can command. Comfortable bed, AC, they are all physical comforts. But when it comes to peace of mind, the real treasure of this world, the real wealth of this world, you can't command it. It has to come by God's grace. That is why people who are immoral, illegal, corrupt, unrighteous, sensuous, they will have no peace of mind. They will be there in the bungalows, posh building, lot of people to serve them. All these are fine, but they will have no peace of mind. And what is the greatest proof that they will have no peace of mind? They have no peace of mind. Proper sleep itself they will not get. Forget about peace and all that. They will have to depend on the external sources like drinks and drugs for that peace. Right. Just imagine compare the two different kinds of peace available. The peace through meditation and the peace through medication. One makes you an addict, and that also you get only a third-rate peace, an unhealthy peace, and you have to depend on wealth for that, money for that, because all these drugs are very costly. You have to depend on the external wealth. Then for that person, wealth becomes more important, yes or no? Whereas for this person, wealth has no meaning, you see. And he gets the best peace in this world, the highest peace. There is no comparison at all. Peace of meditation versus peace of medication, there is no comparison. Bhagavan gives his devotee the best in this world, the best. Here is a man, Kaupinavantaha, Khalu Bhagyavantaha. Yes, one Kaupina. Look at Ramana Maharshi. He has nothing, but he is a king of joy. Isn't it? See the difference. A person who surrenders to God versus a person who surrenders to the world. See the difference. So we are talking of meditation. So as we go deep within, so many secrets are revealed. All these secrets are revealed in the beginning through pain, but don't get scared by pain. Pain is only an indication that we are at present walking the wrong path. So what has to be done? Correct the path, that's all what is needed. Correct your thinking, that's all what is needed. Correct your thinking, make your thinking Sāttvic, and then peace, joy, happiness, contentment, fulfillment, it is yours. It is your birthright. Get it. Right. Now, as you go deep within, another great secret is revealed to you. What is the secret? This mind has got three moods. Three-mooded mind it is. What are the three moods? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Remember, only a person who meditates will know this. Others will think mind is mind. What is there to do research and all? Mind is mind. The objective scientists will never know this. It is only the subjective scientists who will recognize this. Mind has got three moods. And the behavior of the mind is completely different in all these three moods. It is my mind, but its behavior is completely different. What is the nature of a tamasic mind? Dull, no interest in anything, sleepy, lazy, procrastinating, uninterested, indifferent. This horrible mind is called tamasic mind. The next one is rajasic mind, highly agitated, extroverted, passionate, lusty, greedy, egoistic, selfish. This is called as a rajasic mind. And what is Sāttvic mind? Peaceful, quiet, obedient, tamed, cheerful, divine, dispassionate. This is a Sāttvic mind. 3 moods. Now, as you look within, as you go through the experiences of life, you will come to know tamasic and rajasic mind cannot be trusted. It will cheat you, it will take you to hell. Your own mind. But if it is in a tamasic or a rajasic mode, don't trust it. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu, atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Sāttvic mind is your greatest friend. Rajasic, tamasic mind is your greatest enemy. A great truth. These are all pearls of wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. And these pearls you come to know as you go deeper and deeper within. You are observing the behavior of your mind. The mind is behaving at different times in different ways. And this behavior has been categorized. Now you have to just recognize, what mind am I possessing? Just like a person who is driving the car, he now and then looks into the dashboard to get a clear understanding of the functioning of the vehicle, isn't it? What all do you find on the dashboard? There's a fuel meter, then there's a speedometer, and all so many meters are there. In the cockpit of a flight, if you go, so many meters are there, isn't it? So in the same way, a person who keeps on looking within, he has so many meters. The mind has also got 3 modes: Sāttvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. So a person who looks within, he sees this, now the mind is in tamas, beware. A red signal comes. Beeping, red. Means what? Don't trust this mind. It's a dangerous mind. Rakshasa is in control. So unless you look within, you will never know. So what happens if we take decisions based on a tamasic and rajasic mind? By the by, mind is made of Māyā. Māyā is, what is the nature of Māyā? Avarana vikshepa shakti. These are the 2 powers of Māyā. Avarana, covering; vikshepa, projecting that which is not. The real is covered, the unreal is projected. This is the way the Māyā works. This is the way the Māyā deludes. Avarana and vikshepa. Covering and projection. Avarana, covering. Vikshepa, projection. The truth is covered, the untruth is projected. So since mind is born of Māyā, mind also must have these abilities. Because the mind is the child of Māyā. So with the tamasic nature, it covers the reality. With the rajasic nature, it projects the illusion. So a mind which is under the control of tamas and rajas, what will it do? It will cover the reality and it will project the illusory thing. So what will such a mind do? That mind will say, happiness is not inside. Happiness is... See the danger. Where is happiness? Happiness is my nature. Satchit Ananda Swarupa I am. It is my nature. Ananda is my nature. Happiness is within. What will tamas do? It covers that happiness. So you are no more able to access that happiness. And what will Rajas do? It will project that happiness outside. So now I find that happiness in the sense pleasures, in the sense objects. So now what will I do? If I start listening to this mind, what will I do? I will stop going within, I will start going without, outside. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashah buddhinashat. Wonderful. Pranashyati. Distraction. From where? With dhyanam. Remember? Dhyayataha pranashyati. You meditate and you are dead. You are finished. Meditate on what? Dhyayataha vishayan. Sense objects. This is what the tamasic, rajasic mind will do. Why is Vishaya Dhyanam happening? This tamasic, rajasic mind, it says happiness is there in Vishaya. Bas, Dhyanam starts. Then what happens? Sangha starts. You desire that sense object. From Sangha comes Kama. You crave for it. This alone is happiness. Without this, there is no happiness. That is called as Kama. And when you don't get it, what happens? Krodha, anger. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, total delusion. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha, loss of memory. Smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha, loss of discriminative ability. Buddhi gone means everything gone. Buddhinashat pranashyati. This is called as ladder of fall. How we fall. So a person who regularly meditates, what will he find? He finds these three moods. So what is the greatest advantage of knowing these moods? You know when to trust your mind. You know when not to trust your mind. Act in haste, repent in leisure. This is what will happen to a person who is controlled by rajasic, tamasic mind. You see? So a person who knows this, major decisions in life, he will never take just like that. What will he do? Whenever such situations arise, he will convert or he will wait for the mind to become Sāttvic. Remember, all of us, all our minds, we have this mixture. There is nobody who is 100% Sāttvic and all. No. Prakriti is Trigunatmika. So therefore everything in this world has got three gunas. So everyone's mind, even the greatest yogi's mind also will have three gunas. Now what is the benefit of having this knowledge? The benefit of having this knowledge is that person will work harder and harder to make the mind Sāttvic in the majority of the time. That's why the instruction given by Bhagavan, Nitya Sattvasto Bhava. Always try to keep the mind in Sattva. This is your responsibility. Right? So whenever decisions have to be taken, this person who knows the mind, he will look within. In which mood am I now? If it is tamasic, don't take decisions. Can't trust that mind. If it is rajasic, never. Then wait for the mind to become Sāttvic. Can we convert a rajasic mind into Sāttvic mind consciously? Can we? Of course, that is why sadhana is done. All our spiritual sadhanas are only to convert, to transform the tamasic rajasic mind into sattvic mind. All our spiritual sadhanas, whatever it may be, japa, dhyana, puja, meditation, everything, finally the tamasic rajasic mind should become sattvic mind. So whenever major decisions have to be taken, don't take it. A person who meditates, he will know. What will he do? He will pray. The best way of converting an impure mind into a pure mind. So whenever we say impure mind, you have to understand it is rajasic, tamasic mind. In one word, it is called as impure mind. So, through prayer, you convert that mind into sattvic mind, a pure mind, and then whatever that mind says, do it. Because a pure mind is connected to the divine. It is tuned to the divine. And a mind which is tuned to the divine is a wise mind. Is your real friend, is your real guide. Such a mind can be trusted. A sattvic mind can be trusted. You will never repent. It will give you the best suggestions to you. In fact, God's guidance flows through a sattvic mind. So then whatever that mind says, just obey with a firm faith that this is the guidance from the Lord Himself. Then you will never repent. All such actions also will be sattvic actions, sattvic decisions, right decisions. Right? See the benefits of meditation. Only a meditator will know these three moods. Others will never know. Right. The benefits of a sattvic mind, they are innumerable. Innumerable. A person who possesses a sattvic mind, he will have tremendous peace. A possessor of sattvic mind can at will generate concentration, dedication, sincerity, courage, strength, fortitude, perseverance, you name it. Sattvic mind can generate at will. Now, for such a person, is there anything unachievable? Nothing. When you ask these college students and youngsters, tell me, what is the secret of success? So the youngster, hard work, attitude, positive attitude, courage, never say die attitude. And the management gurus also say, yes, tick. But what is that factor which determines everything? That they don't speak. You see, all these management techniques are all shallow techniques, very shallow, no depth at all. Ask one more question, how to create courage? How to create concentration? How to create inspiration? Most important. See, if inspiration is there, everything else will come. How to create inspiration? They have no answer. I must be inspired to do something, then I will do. But how to create that inspiration? So spirituality says that inspiration comes from sattvic mind. From where will the sattvic mind come from? Turn towards Him who is the creator of the mind. Turn towards the Lord. Sharanāgati. then that mind becomes an efficient, inspired mind. Such a Sāttvic mind, it is effortlessly inspired in walking the right path, and there is effortless withdrawal from walking the wrong path. Both are effortless. Effortless inspiration while walking the path of dharma, effortless withdrawal while tempted by the path of adharma. It is natural for that mind. Such a mind is therefore called a divine mind. Sāttvic mind is called a divine mind. And all the virtues that a Sāttvic mind express, these virtues are called Devi Sampat, divine wealth, divine virtues. Right. All the impurities, the negative thinkings, delusory thinkings, wrong ways of thinkings brought out by a tamasic and rajasic mind, it is called as Asuri Sampat. See, Daivi Sampat, Asuri Sampat. Same mind, remember, it is the same mind. On one time it becomes a Devata, other time it becomes a Rakshasa, an Asura. So 16th chapter is a big list. Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Right. Same mind. So as we go deeper and deeper within ourselves, we come to know these great secrets of life. Right. So is it worth meditating? Just imagine what are you losing when you are not meditating. It's truly said committing suicide. Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanam kamakrodhas tatha lobha tasmat etatrayam tijet. 3 doorways to hell. In fact, there are no 3, there are plenty. And there is a big rush also. There is a big queue in front of every gate. Big queue. Swamiji, how do we know? Open the newspaper and see. Thousands are entering to each gate. What is the mistake they have done? Remember, we are not hating them. We have only sympathy for them. A person who is blind, or rather who has put one black cloth, how can he walk the straight path? He will naturally hit his head on wall and this and that, and he will suffer. This is exactly what happens when a person lives in this life without the guidance of the scriptures, without the guidance of the teachers. He suffers and suffers, suffers and suffers. No, Swamiji, all the spiritual masters must do something. Arey, what can they do? This fellow is not listening. All the spiritual masters, they are compassionate, they are concerned, they are ever ready to give all this knowledge to everyone. But if the fellow doesn't listen, what can you do? So what is the price he pays? He suffers. The price we pay for ignoring, neglecting the spiritual teaching is suffering. So when we suffer, we think, oh, maybe I am suffering, but others are enjoying. So maybe something is problem here. So life after life we suffer, and finally, as a last resort, we come to spirituality. Many times people ask this question. Swamiji, why did God create such a world where there is so much of suffering? Why did He create? You say God is all compassionate, this, that, etc. But in this world, everybody is suffering. Why did God create a world full of suffering? Now, can you blame God? No. God has created the world and God has given a beautiful way also. My dear child, walk this path straight to liberation. Such a beautiful path it is. Be good, do good, transcend the world, be liberated. Such a wonderful path. You are happy, you give happiness to everyone, and there you are, liberated. What a wonderful path. And what an easy path. Everyone can be good. Everyone need not be talented. Everyone need not be first in every field. Not necessary, but everyone can be good, isn't it? That's all what Bhagavan says. Cultivate the virtues. And wherever you are, you can have these virtues. In any profession, you can have these virtues. In any gender, you can have these virtues. Caste, creed, religion is no bar, is no barrier. Such an easy path. Everyone can follow. What more can God do? He has made the path easy, but when we ignore His teachings, His guidance, then we have to suffer. You cannot blame God for that. Isn't it? If all the windows and doors are closed, the room has to be dark. You can't blame the sun, saying that, oh sun, why did you create this room dark? What will sun say? I am waiting there outside. The fellow is not opening the door. What can I do? So therefore these questions are baseless. Why did God create world of suffering? Okay. So the path is very easy. But choice is yours. You can mess up your life and cry and weep and keep on blaming God. That is your choice. Right. Hari Mana Tumi Govinda Mana Tumi Gopala Mana Hari Narayana. Tumi Gopala Mana Hari Govinda Gopala Hari Narayana. Rama Mana Raja Rama Mana. Sita Rama Mana Atma Rama Mana. Sita Rama Mana. Together. Hari Mana Tumi Govinda Mana Tumi Gopala Mana Hari Narayana. Govinda Gopala Hari Shyama Mana Radhe Shyama Mana. Ghana Shyama Mana Megha Shyama Mana. Ghana Shyama Mana Hari Mana Tumi Govinda Mana Tumi Gopala Mana Hari Narayana. Govinda Gopala Hari Ishamana Jagadishamana. Parameshamana Sarveshamana. Paramesha Hari Mana Tumi Govinda Mana तुमि गोपालमणा हरिनारायण गोविन्द गोपाल हरे विठ्ठलमणा रंग विठ्ठलमणा रकुमाई मणा हरि विठ्ठलमणा रकुमाई हरि मणा तुमि गोविन्द मणा तुमि गोपाल मणा हरि नारायण गोविन्द गोपाल हरि नारायण गोविन्द गोपाल हरि नारायण ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ